Hey, what's up everyone? The Dan Sandwich here, and today I'm back in NBA 2K23, and buckle up, because this is going to be a long video. I think it's going to be a long video at least. Because what we're doing here is, you might be able to see something going on. It's a little bit different. Just you're looking at the screen in general right now. So I have noticed a glitch. I don't think I was the first person to discover this one, but I definitely took notice of it. That when you export a player from the modern day era and you import them into a past era, their age is accurate to the year they were born. So when you have a player who wasn't born yet, so right now we're in the Magic versus Bird era, 1983 or whatever. When you import a player who hasn't been born yet, they have a negative age. So Paolo Banchero here, he was listed as negative 20 years old. And then if you go into the roster editor and the quick edit, and you change their age, if you go up, it then gives you a negative 2,113 age. So that happens no matter who you do it with, as long as they have a negative age to start out with. The number changes depending on how many years in the negative they are. But yeah, that's what happens. So, what we did here. Now, the Orlando Magic don't exist yet in the 1983. So I just randomly picked a team, and he landed on the Atlanta Hawks, which is actually a really good fit for him. But what we did here is I put Paolo Banchero in the Magic versus Bird era. I made him negative 2,113 years old. And we're gonna simulate. We're gonna keep simulating for a really long time, probably. Only other things that I did is I changed his potential, because if he's going to be in the league for 2,000 years, I want him to be, the best he could possibly be. Hey there, Future Dan here. I forgot to fully explain how to recreate this negative 2,000 year age glitch, so I'm doing that now. So you want to go over to Features, go over to Create Roster. You want to start with the modern current roster, and then the official 2K Sports roster is fine. And then just find whatever player you want to use to create this glitch. Of course, for me, I use Paolo Banchero. So you want to go over to whatever team they're on. So in my case is the Orlando Magic. Select the player, go to Edit Player. And then you want to go down to where it says Export Player DNA. So you want to do that, export it, save it, do what you got to do there, of course. And then exit this. And then go back into Create Roster, and then select whichever era you want to insert this player into. So again, in this situation, I went to the Magic versus Bird era. And then, of course, use the official 2K Sports roster again. And then, whichever team you want to add this player to, go ahead and find a player that you want to replace them with. Again, I just, went to the last player on the roster, which is, all these 65 overall randomly generated guys. Select one of those, or whichever player you want, and depending on how you want to do it. Select Edit Player. Then go down to where it says Import Player DNA. And then you want to load/download NBA Player DNA. Once you find the file that you would use, now that's weird. It's saying there's no description found now, but I think this is the one that I use. Okay, yeah. So Paolo Banchero right there. So you want to go to Import Appearance and Attributes. All right, there's Paolo. Complete that. Keep changes in return. And then now you have a player with a negative age value. From here, you want to go to Quick Edit. So on Xbox, that is the menu button. I think it's what it's called, the Start button, whatever. So select that. go down to your player, go over to the age. Now, this is important. This is easy to mess up. You want to go up on the right stick. If you go down, it'll set their age as 19, which is not what you want to do for this glitch, of course. If you go up, as you can see there, it sets their age at negative 2,113 in this case. I've seen some different ages. I don't know what determines that. But that's how you create this glitch there. And then from there, you save the roster. You go to the My NBA Eras mode. You select the roster you want to start off with, like you would normally when you're creating a new roster, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's how you recreate this glitch. So yeah, this is Future Dan remembering that I forgot to fully explain that. So now we will get back to the video. Oh yeah, okay, so you can see it clearly from right here. It says his birth year is 4095. So it thinks he was born on November 2nd, or November 12th, 4095 for some reason. Which is why he's negative 2,000 years old. Insane. I adjusted his peak start age at 40 and his end at 41. Because that's going to help him just continue to progress forever. Gave him 99 potential and all that. Let's change this average percentage to 0. Because he's not going to be average. He's gonna boom. So yeah, that's the Paolo Banchero that is going into this simulation, and we're just gonna keep simulating until either it doesn't let us continue on anymore or until he retires. I don't know, because again, most players when they hit like 20 years in the league, they retire, but it's usually because they're getting too old to play basketball anymore. So what happens when you have a guy who's just never going to age and who's hopefully going to keep getting better? So that's what we're looking at here, and who knows? I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I did a quick test run because I wanted to see if you simulated one season, if it's going to just automatically fix the age thing. It doesn't do that. So I don't know what's going to happen beyond that. So here we go. We're gonna simulate Paolo Banchero's career as if he was born in the year 4095, transported back to 1983, and then had the potential to become a omnipotent basketball god. I also turned off injuries because I don't want the chance of a random career-ending injury to happen. Because, when you're simulating this many years, it could happen. Yeah, I had no idea what's going to happen. So I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen. So let's go. I was going to start simulating here. All right, so at the end of Season 1, Larry Bird wins the MVP. Ralph Sampson's a Rookie of the Year, so no Paolo Banchero for that, which is interesting. Kevin McHale, Sixth Man of the Year. Marky in. So no, so we're not seeing any Paolo Banchero here yet. Anything on here at all? Let's see. Hopefully he ends up on one of the all-rookie teams. Okay, so there's Paolo Banchero. He is feeling lit at negative 2,112 years old. Atlanta Hawks were the 4 seed, so that's really good. We're not going to dwell on this too long, because again, we got a lot of years to simulate, so I'm just going to keep simulating through the playoffs. They get knocked out by Milwaukee in round 1, unfortunately. But, Paolo's got a long career ahead of him. He's going to have probably plenty of chances at making, the NBA Finals and hopefully winning a championship as well. I'm going to keep an eye on player progression to see how quickly he's progressing. Again, given the fact he has 99 potential and all that, it should help him out quite a bit. Let's see here. Yeah, so he's jumped up 4 overall points to 82 overall now. So that's good. So yeah, we're just gonna keep it rolling and see what happens in the next season. All right, year 2, Magic Johnson MVP, Michael Jordan Rookie of the Year, Dale Ellis Sixth Man of the Year, Sidney Moncrief, Sleepy Floyd Most Improved Player. Let's see here. Any Paolo yet? Paolo Banchero, All NBA third team. Okay, so that's really good. He is progressing along well there. That's what we want to see. The Atlanta Hawks were the 7th seed, as you can see to the right around my head right there. 7th seed this season. But once again, we're just going to keep simulating through the playoffs because we just need to get through this. They make it out of the first round, but they get eliminated in round 2. Lakers win the championship. Again, we're just going to keep it rolling here to player progression. See how our dude Paolo is progressing. He's 87 overall now. Again, progressing pretty nicely. Jumped up 5 overall points right there. The rest of the team is progressing solidly. Aside from Johnny Davis here, Tree Rollins is regressing a little bit. But yeah, that's good to see our boy Paolo making it to the All NBA team for the first time. End of year 3, this is going to start to get hard to keep track of as I get way up in the years, I think. But end of year 3, Larry Bird wins MVP, Karl Malone, Rookie of the Year. Still no... Okay, so most improved player for Paolo. Average 27.5, 11, almost 12 boards, 4 assists, a steal and a block. Amazing shooting percentage. 62% from the field. Really excellent. 41 from 3. Could do a little bit better from free throw, but still really awesome work there. And he's on the All NBA first team. Okay, that's really great. It's kind of weird that a guy who made the All NBA third team wins most improved player, but I guess when he goes from the third team to the first team, maybe that's worth it. And the Hawks are now the 2nd seed this season instead of being the 7th seed. So let's see if that leads to a championship in year 2. They make it to the finals and lose to the Lakers. So at least they got to the finals. And Paolo, obviously, he's doing great. All NBA first team, had an awesome season. He's going to have probably many, many more like that as he works his way up to 99 overall potential. All right, and he has now progressed to be the best player on this team over Dominique Wilkins. So he's a 92 overall, although it's showing 93 overall up there. And then, Dominique's a 90 overall. Doc Rivers is starting to get a little bit better as well. Some guy by the name of Russ Nash is now on the team playing small forward. And then Johnny Davis is down here at 79 overall. All right, so that didn't take long. He went from most improved to most valuable in the span of one season. 30 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, steal and a half, a little bit over a block per game. Shooting percentage from 3 down a little bit, but everywhere else is a little bit up. So yeah, that's his, 4th season, and he's already winning MVPs. So hopefully this leads to team success. Hakeem Olajuwon is still winning Defensive Player of the Years. Obviously he's All NBA first team, and the Atlanta Hawks were the best team in the Eastern Conference this time. Is that going to be enough to win a championship this year? They go to the finals this time, and then they do win a championship against the Lakers. So they get their revenge against the Lakers, and of course Paolo Banchero is the Finals MVP. So far, 1 championship already in year 4. I don't know how many championships this guy's gonna win. With the 99 potential, there's a chance he could be winning, double-digit championships. So that'll be really fun to watch. On to player progression here, Paolo Banchero is now up to a 96 overall. Dominique Wilkins is holding steady at 90 overall. Doc Rivers is getting a little bit better now at an 85. So the rest of the team, it's still pretty solid, but, it's going to be headlined by these two here for a little while. It looks like Banchero got himself an extension for 3 years now as well. So he's going to stay on the team for a little bit longer, at least. That's the other thing I'm interested to see is how many teams he's going to end up on. Because I didn't change his loyalty things at all. He's like 100% play for a winner. So it'll be interesting to see especially as his teammates start to retire and fall off, because that's going to happen. He's gonna outlive all of them. As his teammates start to retire and fall off, is he going to look for other opportunities elsewhere, or is he going to stick with the Hawks for the entire time? I actually don't. I hope he doesn't stay on one team the entire time, because I think it'd be more interesting if he moves around a bunch. But we'll see what happens. Paolo Banchero back-to-back MVP seasons. He's now up to an 80 free throw percentage. So that's good. But other than that, it's pretty similar stats to what he had last season. Steals are down a little bit, assists are up a little bit, but yeah, those will probably be, you might see that stat line there for a while. The thing I'm interested in seeing is he eventually going to be able to win Defensive Player of the Year? Because normally when you give a guy 99 potential, they do eventually start to win some Defensive Player of the Year awards. And number 1 seed in the East again. Simulate through the playoffs. Can they get championship number 2 here? And they do. Go to Game 7 against the Supersonics, and Paolo Banchero gets another championship to his name. So 2 championships already, 2 MVPs already early on in this guy's career. The other reason why I want to do this with Paolo Banchero is I haven't done anything with anybody from the 2022 draft class yet. I thought about doing Chet Holmgren for the memes, but I thought, first overall pick, Paolo Banchero. He's probably a little bit more of an all-around player than Holmgren is. So that's why I thought I'd go with him. Because like I said, you can do this with anybody who was born after the era that you're starting in. So I technically could have started with LeBron if I wanted to. But I wanted to do it with a younger player. And as you can see, Paolo Banchero up to 98 overall already. And he's still negative 2,108 years old. So got a long way to go still. And again, I have no idea what's going to happen. All right, so we're going to have to get used to seeing this screen because we're going to be seeing a lot. Paolo Banchero, another MVP. Danny Manning Rookie of the Year. And still no Defensive Player of the Year for Banchero. Let's see. First in the East again. Can they three-peat here? Make it to the NBA Finals again against the Supersonics, and they sweep them. So now it's getting to the point where he is becoming unstoppable. It showed him as a 99 at the end of the playoffs there. So once I confirm he's at 99, I'm going to stop looking at player progression necessarily, other than maybe just keep an eye out on the roster. We're up to 1989 now, so this has been 6 years already, and Paolo is already unstoppable. Yep, he's at 99 now. So yeah, we're gonna stop looking at player progression. We're just gonna simulate into the playoffs and see what he does, and just make sure he doesn't move to a different team. This is the last year of his contract that he's on right now, but I think as long as they keep winning, he'll probably will stay with the Hawks for a while. 4 years in a row, I think Paolo Banchero wins MVP. I forgot to check to see if he won Defensive Player of the Year, but it probably isn't the case because that's going to be Hakeem's award for a while. NBA Finals, NBA Championship for the Hawks. That is 4 in a row for this squad. But Paolo is a free agent, so I am going to look at player progression at the end of this one just to see if he re-signed with the team. Or if he went somewhere else. But again, you win the championship 4 years in a row, normally you're going to stick around, but 2K is weird like that. You'll see that all the time, guys who have massive success who jump teams for no reason. And he's here. He's still here for another 3 seasons at least. And they got Xavier McDaniel now. So they got an abundance of depth at small forward. I wonder if they're starting Wilkins at the 2 now, or maybe McDaniel at the McDaniel's a 3/4. Whatever. I'm sure they can figure it out. They're winning championships. I guess it doesn't really matter. Paolo MVP again. It's like I said, they're just gonna keep happening. Still Defensive Player of the Year rewards going to Hakeem Olajuwon. So no surprise there. Atlanta first seed in the East again. Can they win their 5th in a row? And they do. It wasn't even hard, So yeah, it's becoming to that point where he's becoming unstoppable. So yeah, that's what we thought was going to happen. And it's going to be happening for a really, really long time, probably. Okay, and now we are entering the Jordan era. Which should be the Paolo era probably, but we're entering the Jordan era now. So 1991, different background, but same Paolo Banchero. Another season, another MVP for Paolo Banchero. That's what his how many does he have right now? That's his 6th. So can he make it 6 for 6 with MVPs and championships this year? We will see. And still no DPOYs because Hakeem is Hakeem. He's not gonna give him up. He always wins it. Similarly, playoffs, and the Hawks beat the Jazz in 7 games to win their 6th championship in a row with Paolo Banchero. Yeah, that's the Paolo Banchero presents the Paolo Banchero MVP award. Shaquille O'Neal Rookie of the Year. So we're 10 years in at this point. And David Robinson is winning Defensive Player of the Year awards now instead of Paolo. Maybe he's not that guy. Maybe he's not a defender. They say he's one of a kind though, so maybe he can do everything now. I should probably look at his ratings at some point. Is everything in the 90s now? Almost. His free throws still got some room to work on. He could be a little bit better passer, just a few holes in his game. But yeah, he is. He is one of a kind. Like he's winning every MVP. He's winning every championship. I would say that qualifies as one of a kind. So let's see if they win another championship, and they do. They were not the home. They did not have a home court advantage in the finals for the first time in a while, but that didn't matter. That's 7 championships now for Paolo and the Hawks. He was in the last year of his deal, but he was saying he wanted to resign. So I would be surprised if he doesn't. Paolo MVP, Vin Baker Rookie of the Year, and David Robinson. Still no, like I don't know. Like maybe he'll start to win Defensive Player of the Years in his in his 30th year or something like that. Give him some time to get his points out of the way before he starts really playing some defense later in his career. Another championship. So what is that? 8 in a row now. Already GOAT status for Paolo Banchero. He's got a lot of time left. Another MVP for Paolo Banchero. Jason Kidd Rookie of the Year now. John Williams, the greatest composer of all time, wins 6th Man of the Year. And then another Defensive Player of the Year for Hakeem. So he took a couple years off, but he wins another one. The Hawks, I imagine, were still the best team in the East. Yep. So let's just go through the playoffs. Can they win? What is it? 8 championships now? They can't. Okay, so they lose their first championship in like 8 years to the San Antonio Spurs, and they got David Robinson still. Or no? Okay, that's crazy. So they history repeats itself with David Robinson winning the championship with the Spurs. Though he does it quite a bit earlier than he did in real life. It's only 1995. I haven't been looking at player retirements at all. Who made the Hall of Fame this season? Sidney Moncrief, Hall of Famer. All right, cool. It's 1995, so we still got quite a long time to go. Paolo, 10-time MVP. Hawks, first team in the East as well. They got their different logo. Man, I wish I could. I should have kept the Pac-Man Hawks logo. It's way better. Whatever. Anyway. Can they win a championship this year after getting lost after losing the finals last year? They do win the championship, as you see there. It moved faster than my mouth could. All right, cool. So yeah, championship for Paolo Banchero. Number nine. Any Beatles fans out there? Whatever. Anyway, who's going to the Hall of Fame this season? I should start keeping track of this as we're a little bit further in the simulation. And Dominique Wilkins, he retires. So Paolo's best teammate so far retires now at the age of 36. So he probably could have stuck around in the NBA a little bit longer. What was his overall rating when he retired? Did he actually retire? Is this a weird? What's happening? Is this that weird glitch where like they show them going to the Hall of Fame and they haven't retired yet? So Dominique Wilkins makes it to the Hall of Fame, but he's still in the NBA. He's still in the Hawks. He's an 82 overall, so like, I don't know, that's weird. Whatever. 2K is gonna 2K, I guess. Paolo MVP, are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Allen Iverson, Rookie of the Year. Raja, Shaquille O'Neal is now the Defensive Player of the Year. He's taking those DPOYs away from Paolo now. I don't. Is he? He probably won't ever make defensive player of the year. Whatever. CBA playoffs. The Hawks are the first in the conference again. Make it to the finals, win another championship. Yeah, that's what happens every time. Now, I will say, the interesting thing here is let's just see is he going to retire this year? What is happening? He made the Hall of Fame the year before, and he still hasn't retired yet, which is weird as hell. But whatever, that's what we're doing here. Mark Aguirre in the Hall of Fame. Did he retire? Who knows? Now, Paolo was saying that he wasn't opposed to rejoining the Hawks, but he was interested in seeing what his value was in free agency. That's what the little thing and the thing that he said. So we're gonna see if he's gonna stay with the Hawks. So we're gonna go to player progression and see what happened there. And maybe Dominique Wilkins retired this year and I just didn't see it or whatever. Maybe I was like, Dominique's out, so I'm out or whatever. Who knows? Like I said, it said under his like loyalty thing is the play for a winner is 100%. So if the second best player on the team left, maybe he doesn't want to stick around either. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, he's sticking around. All right, so he's and Dominique Wilkins is still here. So he made the Hall of Fame 2 years ago and didn't retire yet. So that's wild. But the rest of the team could use some work. Paolo is now only he's a sprightly negative 2,099 years old right now. How many years pro is he right now? 14 years pro. That's how long we've been doing this. And he's got a lot of championships to his name already. All right, so he's here for at least another 3 years. That's what we got now. And they got their team is not great right now. It's basically just him now carrying the team on his back, which has been good enough. Obviously, when you got a guy who's 99, should be 99 on almost everything now. Yeah, he's just got like crazy ratings across the board. That should be good enough to carry his couple championships. So with the rest of his team like falling off the mark a bit, Paolo puts up 42 points in the season this year. Just ridiculous stuff. Still no DPOIs. This a real disappointment. Still good enough to be the first seed in the East. So let's see. Let's simulate the playoffs. Is that going to be good enough for a championship this year? And it was. So yeah, still good enough to win a championship. Doesn't matter. I want to see what this team looks like after this offseason here. Actually, let me. Did Wilkins actually retire this year? No, he's still here. He must still be here. I don't know who's in the Hall of Fame this year. Gary Cummings. All right, good for you. Dominique Wilkins isn't on the Hawks anymore. I don't know where he went. I guess I could look it up, but it didn't seem in the retirements listing. Whatever. And Paolo Banchero says he's fine. That's kind of spicy. What's he feeling? Yeah, he's okay. He says this is my contract year, but it's not. He still has 2 years left. So I don't know what he thinks is going on. I mean, he is technically not even born yet. So I guess maybe that's what's going on there. How many MVPs is this for Banchero now? It's getting to the ridiculous level, the ridiculous threshold. 13 MVPs. 13. He already has 11 championships. I lost track. Now he's in year 16. Ridiculousness. Dirk Nowitzki, Rookie of the Year. Jason Kidd wins Defensive Player of the Year. So they give it to a guard for the first time in a long time. The Hawks are still the first seed in the East. Let's get this over with here. And they win another championship. The Spurs got him that one time, but that was it. They couldn't get him again. Magic Johnson retires. Isaiah Thomas retires. Doc Rivers is gone. Dominique Wilkins finally retires. It doesn't look like he was on a team last year. I mean, he was 75 overall, so that makes sense. Hakeem Olajuwon retires. A lot of big names retiring right now, realizing that they can't stand up to Paolo Banchero, which makes sense. These guys are all making the Hall of Fame, and somehow Dominique makes it to the Hall of Fame for the second time. Well, he won a few more championships since the last time he made the Hall of Fame, so that makes sense. They didn't make the Hall of Fame again. All right, hey, yeah, so I'm back to this video now. I took a break after recording that first segment, and I am back now on a different day to continue recording this. Probably will be over several days, most likely, because it's taking a while, as I'm sure you can expect. But anyway, we are in the year 1999. Paolo Banchero is a 16-year pro at this point, and it's his last year of his contract, and it's important because if you look here, it says, my agent and I agreed that it would be best for me to see what I can get in free agency this upcoming offseason. So, you know, we could see Paolo switching teams at the end of this year. I mean, you can take a look at the roster. It's not great anymore. A lot of the players that he started out with are now gone, obviously, after 16 seasons. But he's still, you know, only a negative 2,097 years old. Obviously, he's a 99 overall, because that's, you know, what with everything's going on here. So yeah, we'll see what happens at the end of the season. If they can win another championship, he might stick around, obviously. But, you know, we could see them get upset again, like they did to the Spurs a couple years ago. So yeah, let's simulate through the regular season, of course, and see what Paolo wants to do in the offseason. All right, so at the end of the 99-2000 season, Paolo Banchero gets another MVP. That's got to be like, what, 12 for him now? 14. Okay, so he's got 12 championships, 14 MVPs. All right. So yeah, that's, you know, 37.9 points per game. Really, really good scoring effort there, of course. Manu Ginobili, Rookie of the Year. Jason Kidd, who gets his second Defensive Player of the Year award again. And let's see, the Hawks were the #1 seed again. So they continue to dominate the Eastern Conference. But can they get another championship? Oh, they barely squeak out of the first round, and they lose to the Spurs again. So yeah, just like I thought could happen, they lose to the Spurs, who have Allen Iverson. I can't think of a less Spursian player than Allen Iverson, but hey, you know, he wins a championship with them, so obviously it's working out for them. Let's see who gets into the Hall of Fame this season. We got James Worthy, Patrick Ewing, and John Stockton. You know, all of those guys, I think. Well, no, Worthy probably retired around this time, but Stockton and Ewing stuck in the league a little bit longer in real life. So yeah, let's simulate into player progression, see if Paolo stuck around, or if he left at the end of his contract year. And Paolo did stick around. He signed a 4-year contract with the team, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to see if he would jump around to different teams. But, you know, you get to the NBA Finals still, so it's not like you're, you know, really slacking off or anything like that. All right, Paolo, MVP again, no surprise there. Kenyon Martin wins Rookie of the Year. Michael Jordan is the 6th Man of the Year. That's fascinating. He's on the Seattle Supersonics, which is wild. And Paolo gets his first Defensive Player of the Year award. Okay, so I've been waiting for this for a while, because usually with these 99 potential guys, they eventually get to Defensive Player of the Year status. So for the first time in his career, he gets there. And the Atlanta Hawks are the 2nd seed in the East for the first time in a really long time. So is Atlanta starting to fall off here a little bit? The answer is no. The answer is not at all. They win another championship. So Paolo gets his revenge, maybe focusing, you know, more on the postseason than the regular season this time. Hall of Fame inductees this year. Michael Jordan retires after winning 6th Man of the Year. He's like, you know what? If I'm not going to be a starter anymore, I will contribute what I can off the bench and then call it quits. Karl Malone, Clyde Drexler also retire. So, you know, big deal there. Jordan, you know, he never won a championship because our guy Paolo was there, so that's not really surprising there. Paolo, MVP, no surprise there. I keep saying it's no surprise. I don't know. Gilbert Arenas, Rookie of the Year. Hedo Turkoglu, 6th Man of the Year. Paolo gets another Defensive Player of the Year award, so he might be sweeping those awards from now on as he just continues to improve his game in year, what would this be, 17 or 18? Atlanta first seed in the East again. Can they win another championship? And this is the last year of this era, and they do win another championship again as well. So another year, another championship for Paolo and the Hawks, and we should be entering into the Kobe era at this point. No Hall of Fame inductees this season. All right, so I guess it's not worthy of the Hall of Fame this season. But yeah, this should be the beginning of the Kobe era here. Yep, here we go. So Paolo's career spanning into his third era, the early 2000s and the Kobe era. Obviously, the big deal going into this season is this is the year where LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, those guys entered the league. But no one has been able to stop Paolo so far, except for the Spurs twice. We've had Michael Jordan in the league for his entire career and never got past Paolo. We've got Kobe Bryant in the league now. This is supposed to be his era. But yeah, we haven't seen any of those guys been able to top Paolo yet. Really just Allen Iverson and David Robinson, the two guys have been able to stop Paolo Banchero so far. But yeah, let's keep it rolling. All right, Paolo MVP again, of course. One of his lower scoring totals in a little while. Only like 32 points a game. But shooting splits are elite, of course, as well. Shooting almost 60% from the field and 45 from three. Yao Ming, Rookie of the Year. And then we got Tim Duncan winning a Defensive Player of the Year award. Taking it away from Paolo. The Hawks, once again, first seed in the East. Can they get another championship here? They get eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's crazy. We haven't seen them miss the NBA Finals in a really long time. And the San Antonio Spurs win the championship behind Allen Iverson again. And what's funny is they actually beat the 76ers in the NBA Finals. That's wild. No Hall of Famers this year either. I wonder who's gonna get it. I wonder who's gonna get LeBron. I'm gonna skip to I haven't done this in a little while. But LeBron is that guy. I didn't even look at who got Jordan originally. I probably should have. Oh well. It's a little too late for me to do that now. But yeah, let's see who got LeBron James in this year's draft. And then New York Knicks get LeBron. Who is Jay Neely? I hate this. I hate when 2K does this, man. Like, they put an 81 overall rookie center 7-footer in the 03 draft class. It just kind of tarnishes it a little bit when you got like this guy going above like Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony. Like, these should be the guys. Like, but like you just got like this random. I don't know. Like, is this who like Darko was supposed to be? Just have him randomly in there. I hate that. It's the worst. I wish they would really figure that out, but it is what it is. Anyway, so you got the Knicks in the Eastern Conference, potentially with LeBron James becoming a rival to Paolo and the Hawks. So this will be his 20th year in the NBA. So this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting and entering into kind of unknown territory a little bit. Like, is Paolo going to retire after so many years pro, or is it going to be based on age? Because I think it's usually based on age. But if you have a guy who doesn't age, what happens? That's the thing. This is the last year of his contract again, and so he's gonna try to test his value in free agency again. And as you can see, the team is getting a lot worse, especially after he lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. So this could be the sun setting on the Hawks here, and maybe time for him to go see if he can find a different team elsewhere. But that'll be interesting because he got 37-year-old Tim Hardaway here. Dino Raja, who's been here his entire career, is 36. So some older players here. You got this team just needs a lot of help, and Paolo is obviously an unstoppable basketball god. But even even he can't do it all by himself, especially now when you have like LeBron James entering the league and stuff like that. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. I'll be kind of sad if he just stays with the Hawks the whole time because I feel like that makes it a little bit less interesting from a video perspective. But you know, I can't really control what's happening here. So yeah. All right, Paolo puts the team on his back once again. Wins another MVP. Again, like the scoring numbers not as impressive as they used to be. LeBron James wins Rookie of the Year, and that's pretty close to what his stats were in his real rookie season. I don't know about the shooting percentages because like 55 from the field is insane for a rookie. But you know, he averaged 25 and 5 as a rookie, so 22, almost 5 rebounds and almost 7 assists. That's real. But look at those! Oh my god, those defensive numbers are insane too. So 2 steals and a block and a half a game as a rookie. That's crazy. That's nuts. Skipped to my Lou, Rayford Alston, 6th man of the year, and then Paolo gets another Defensive Player of the Year award. The Hawks were the 2nd seed. You can see right there. 2nd seed this year. Again, with their squad getting older and a little bit diminished. Can he get him another title? And they lose in the Eastern Conference Finals once again. And the Clippers win the championship behind Tim Duncan. Yeah, that's right. He was on that team. So Tim Duncan, the Clippers savior. And we got another Hall of Fame inductee this season as well. Scottie Pippen retires now. Where did he play for? He played for a lot of different teams. So Phoenix for most of his career, a little stop in New Orleans, and played for the expansion Toronto Raptors for a while. So that's cool. But he's retiring now. And then again, so Paolo was in the last year of his contract this year. Another conference finals exit. Is that going to be what he needs to see to go choose another team? Let's skip to player progression and find out if that's the case. And nope, he's gonna stick it out. For some reason he is staying with this team for another 4 years. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. What's interesting is that originally, like when you go into the edit player screen, originally the play for winner was 100, and then the other stuff was like 30 or 40. So it seems like his values have changed in his career. That now he is extremely loyal and financial security is more important. So, you know, the Hawks are going to be able to pay him the most money most likely from now on. So he might just stay on the Hawks the entire time. But, you know, we'll see. He's only in year 21 of his potentially insanely long career. And so, yeah, this is going to be the point where we start to see what is going to happen. Like, is he going to play to year 30, or is he going to retire, or is it solely based on age? So I feel like it's probably based on age, and we're going to see this guy never retire. But he is in year 21 right now. Yo, I know this is not like new information, but Paolo's ridiculous. Like, his team was straight garbage. Like, you saw it. Like, it was him and like there's a bunch of like low 80 overall guys. He didn't have that great of a season statistically, not compared to what we've seen him do in the past, but the team, they were the number 1 seed in the East again. So, like, I don't know. Like, he is really, I mean, obviously he's insane, but, you know, it's, how many games did they win? They won 66 games. Like, with this team, where it's just Paolo, and then, like, the second best player on the team is an 81 overall. I don't get it. I seriously, like obviously he's nuts, but, like, that's really crazy. Is it good enough to win a championship, though? And it isn't. They get swept in the finals by the Dallas Mavericks and Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd winning a championship with the Dallas Mavericks, just like in real life. That's cool. A little bit earlier, because it's 2005, I think. Yeah, 04, 05. Yeah, so quite a bit earlier than he won with them in 2011. And then David Robinson retires. He had that one championship with the Spurs. And Brad Daugherty retires as well. He stuck around way longer than he did in real life. Although he had a lot of injury issues in real life too. Without injuries turned on, I'm sure that helped him out quite a bit. But yeah, another year. You know, Paolo's getting those individual awards still, obviously, but the championship pace is kind of slowed a little bit. Not that he needs more championships. Maybe that's why his play for a winner, his thing has kind of declined a bit, because once you got like 14 championships, I guess it doesn't really matter so much if you're competing for championships every year. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's all it is now. He's just chasing that bag now. But yeah, that's kind of funny to think about as well. Whoa, okay, all right. So they went out and got somebody in free agency. They got Tracy McGrady. That's huge, and this is prime Tracy McGrady, who, like, I've been playing again. Like, if you've watched the other videos on my channel, I've been playing like a Kobe era LeBron James my career thing, and Tracy McGrady is insane. He's insane in this era in 2K. That's the, like, he played with Dominique Wilkins early in his career. This is the next best player he's played with, and without injuries, T-Mac's going to be nuts as well. So that's really awesome. Okay, so you might see a return to championship form now. Then they got another co-star with him in Atlanta, and that's cool. Did T-Mac ever play for Atlanta? It seems like when later in his career when he's bouncing around to different teams, I can't remember now. That sounds right. That he would have played for Atlanta, or maybe I'm thinking of his cousin, Vince Carter played for Atlanta. That's what it is. Other than that, the team is kind of mid. You just got a bunch of guys in the high 70 overalls, but maybe that's what you need. You get your 2-star players, and then just got a bunch of role players. Tim Thomas is solid. Stacey King, old man Stacey King, 38 years old. That's not great. Dino Rajah's still here. Atlanta Hawks legend. So maybe you need a better center. Maybe they play Paolo at the center because he can technically play that position. Although at a 99 overall, I'm sure he can play every position. But hey, I just decided to like take a look at the roster on a whim, and T-Mac's here, so that's dope. All right, once again, Paolo wins MVP, 37 points a game this season, so that's up from last couple of years. Kind of thought that might go down a little bit now that he has a really good scoring teammate in T-Mac. But it's that maybe that's all he needed to encourage him to score a little bit more. Chris Paul, Rookie of the Year. Paolo gets another DPOY. And obviously this team was insane. We got 2 guys on the All-NBA first team. So they were obviously the first seed in the East. Oh my god. They went 79-3. They lost 3 games all season. That's insane. Like, you can build a team of like almost all 99 overall players. Like, I was just like, whatever, I was having fun, and I put together like a team of like the best players of NBA history, put them all on one team and just like simulated just to see what happened. They lost like 5 games. Like, this team with, Paolo the God and T-Mac won 79-3. That's actually crazy. So they should win a championship this season. They beat LeBron's Knicks in the second round, and yeah, they lost as many games in the playoffs as they did all season long. Yeah, that's craziness. Who goes to the Hall of Fame this season? We got Sean Kemp, Mahood. I'll never know how to pronounce that correctly. All apologies to Abdul Rauf. But he makes the Hall of Fame. Oh, that's his jersey number. I was like, what's going on there? That's where they have their jersey number on this page, but whatever. Gary Payton, he retires in 2006. I think that might be accurate because he was on that 06 Heat team that won the championship with D Wade and Shaq. I can't remember if he retired the year after that. But anyway, Paolo continues to be unstoppable, and now that he has a really high quality teammate next to him and T-Mac, I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. This team killed it obviously again this year. They lost one more game that they did the year before. Andrea Bargnani, Rookie of the Year. That's wild. Steve Nash, sixth man of the year. Why is Nash coming off the bench for the Pistons? That doesn't make any sense. And Dwight Howard, most improved player. Yeah, they went. What would that be? 74-4. No. 70. Bad at numbers. 78-4. They went 78-4. Obviously, first seed in the East. Can that mean another title for them? And it does. They win. They lose 2 games in the entire playoffs. So things are going really well for them, obviously. But once again, we have another historic NBA draft, the 2007 draft with Durant and Odin and a few other guys that are really, really good, like Al Horford is in this draft and stuff like that. So we're gonna see where Kevin Durant goes. Could potentially be a rival to Paolo. LeBron hasn't been able to stop him so far, but maybe Durant can. I don't know. And the Nets get Kevin Durant. That's fun. And then Celtics have Greg Oden. That's cool as well. Got some guy named Norm Stevens is here who gets drafted above Al Horford and Jeff Green. Rodney Stuckey. That's All right, so going into the 2007-2008 season, and even though they've been really successful together, Paolo and Tracy Mcgrady are both in the last year of their respective contracts, and both of them are saying that they're gonna test their value in free agency. So that's again, Paolo has stayed put his entire career, which is what, 24 years so far. He's been staying put in Atlanta, but T-Mac, he might have got his championships. He might pull a Kevin Durant and be like, what? I've proven that I can win a championship with one of the best players of all time. In this case, Paolo is going to be the best player of all time easily. He might want to see if he can go win on a team by himself somewhere. So another interesting little wrinkle, another interesting little storyline put in here as well. All right, so this team fell off a little bit. I mean, still had an incredible season by any reasonable standard. They won like 67 games. But when you're, coming off of a 70-plus game season, may not look as great. Kevin Durant wins Rookie of the Year. Put up Kevin Durant numbers. Corey Maggette, pretty good numbers off the bench for the Magic. That's crazy. Paolo gets another DPOY. Some guy named Bradley Moncrief, is most improved player. And yeah, so T-Mac is only All-NBA third team this year. So maybe that could have something to do with their slight decline. The Hawks, number 1 seed again. They face LeBron in round 1, and they handle him no trouble. And they're going to get to the NBA Finals and get to Game 7 against the Grizzlies, but they still win. And Paolo gets another Finals MVP. But once again, as I said at the start of this season, both Paolo and T-Mac were in contract years, and they were both, talking about testing their value in free agency. So we're going to jump to player progression and see, who stuck around. All right, and they both stayed put. Okay, so winning, obviously solves everything. But yeah, so they get another championship, and Paolo, he says he's lit. T-Mac says he's exhilarated, and they're both gonna be here for another 3 years at least. So they're on the same schedule when it comes to their contracts, which is interesting. I wonder. Obviously, 2K is not smart enough to plan that, but that's kind of neat that they're on the same schedule when it comes to contracts. All right, Paolo was another MVP, of course. This is his first season in a really long time scoring less than 30 points a game. But when you got T-Mac on your team, maybe you don't have to score as much. D-Rose Rookie of the Year, LeBron James Defensive Player of the Year, and he is on the Utah Jazz. So he's tired of losing to Paolo in the Eastern Conference every year and switches over to the Utah Jazz. And T-Mac gets back to the All-NBA first team. And obviously Atlanta, number 1 seed in the East. They went 70-12 this season. Oh, they won 69 games last season. Nice. I guess I undershot it a little bit. But yeah, simulate the playoffs here. And Atlanta, They're going to win another championship against the Memphis Grizzlies. So didn't face LeBron in the finals, even though he was the Defensive Player of the Year. Who's going to the Hall of Fame this year? It's Vin Baker. Vin Baker made the Hall of Fame. Okay, all right. I mean, averaged 20 and 11 in his career. Played till he was age 37. Okay, Vin Baker. All right, good job. And then, yeah, so we got a few more years until they become free agents again. 2009 draft, I don't really remember being a huge deal, although I'm sure, like, someone's going to be like, oh, how'd you forget this player? I don't know. I'm bad with this stuff. With that stuff specifically, remembering who was in what draft sometimes. All right, Paolo back up to, like, his 35 points a game this season after coasting a little bit last year. You know, I had a sneaking suspicion that I forgot somebody important in the 2009 draft class. It was Steph Curry. Yeah, so that's on me. And it's funny because I was saying that because I was like, there's somebody in the 2009 draft class, right? And I was like, oh, it's Steph Curry. So, yep, that's on me. You can flame me in the comments if you want. LeBron was like, okay, Utah's lame. I don't like it here. I'm going to Chicago. Wearing the number 23 because Jordan never played there. So that's fun. And T-Mac was on the All-NBA second team this year. Atlanta, still killing it. 71 and 11 this season. One game better than they did the year before. Simulate the playoffs, and they're gonna go to the NBA Finals and win again against the Mavericks. Who went to the Hall of Fame this season? Steve Nash. Steve Nash, who bounced around a little bit. Oh, that's cool. He started out in Houston, and then he retired in Houston. That's kind of neat. Love to see it. But he didn't really, again, like Paolo was stopping a lot of people from, getting to where they might want to go in their careers because he's been that dominant, obviously. Okay, so yeah, now we are into the modern era. So Paolo's career entering the fourth and final era, technically, because they wouldn't do like another era like after the modern era, because what are they gonna do? And now the background is this boring one that's not cool looking at all. But yeah, now Paolo, he's entering his 27th year of his career now. And once again, this is the final year of both Paolo and T-Mac's contracts again. And okay, so Paolo says he's going to extend his contract, and so is T-Mac. Okay, so no controversy still. The Hawks got one in Paolo, and he's gonna stick around, looks like, so that's cool. All right, another year, another MVP for Paolo. Even though he's in a new era, he's still the best player of all time. John Wall, Rookie of the Year on the Nuggets. Brandon Jennings, Sixth Man of the Year. All right, that's solid. He was one of those guys that had a ton of hype coming in the NBA. LeBron gets another Defensive Player of the Year award. If he's not going to win MVPs, he's going to win DPOYs. Which is funny because he never won a Defensive Player of the Year award in real life. But look at that, 3 steals and almost 2 blocks a game. That's nuts. Kevin Love, Most Improved Player. And then we got our guys in the All-NBA First Team, of course. We won how many games last season? 68-14. So almost nice, but still really, really good. Simulate the playoffs. Yeah, this T-Mac, the Paolo combo is just too much to be stopped. They said they wanted to be extended. It looks like Paolo did sign an extension. Just saw that there for another 4 years. I'm sure T-Mac did something similar. Jason Kidd retires. He got 1 championship with the Mavericks at one point. Shaq did nothing of the sort, except he put up a ton of points and played a lot of games. Paolo. Kawhi, Rookie of the Year on the Wolves. Brandon Jennings getting 6th Man of the Year again. And Paolo gets his first Defensive Player of the Year award in a while. So that's cool. Anything crazy happening here? No T-Mac on the All NBA teams, but he's like 32 now, so his career is starting to decline. Obviously had a much better career than he did in real life, partly because he didn't get injured, but also because he was playing with the best player ever of all time. And they win another championship, which is crazy. So the Jazz lost LeBron and then made it to 2 NBA Finals, which is crazy. And Tony McDyess is a Hall of Famer. That's cool. He's always a guy who had really high potential, but never really got there. Hello! I don't even know what to say about this screen anymore. Anthony Davis, Rookie of the Year for the Miami Heat. Zach Randolph on the Lakers. Okay. LeBron put those defensive numbers together again. DeMar DeRozan, Most Improved Player. Hawks were the #1 seed in the East again. 63 wins for 2 years in a row. So yeah, they're starting to slow down a little bit. Again, T-Mac's getting a little bit older. But Paolo is still Paolo, and he's still going to dominate. And they get to the finals and beat the Kings 4-0 sweep. No trouble there. Who's in the Hall of Fame this season? We're going to 2013. Allen Iverson is here. He won a couple championships, right, with the Spurs. So that's cool. He never won a championship in real life, so I'm glad he got his rings in there. Hello again, Paolo. Victor Oladipo, Rookie of the Year. That's weird. Banchero gets another Defensive Player of the Year award. Atlanta, 2nd seed. So this is the first year since they've added T-Mac. They were not the first overall seed, and they lost 20 games this season. So, yeah, that could be interesting. And the Charlotte Bobcats are in the playoffs already. Well, I guess I say already. It's 2014, so yeah, they've been around for a while. Yeah, are they? Okay, they get out of round 1, no problem. Make it to the finals again, and they go to Game 7 against the Warriors, but they do end up winning another championship. That was the last season of Paolo's current contract, unless he extended again. I know T-Mac said he wanted to extend his contract. Tim Duncan retires. Sharif retires. Peja retires. So that's what happened there. Tim Duncan did get a championship with the Clippers. I remember that. So let's see. Let's go to pair of progression. See if Paolo stuck around this year again. They won another championship. So it's likely he's going to stay. But there's stranger things have happened in 2K for sure. All right, and Paolo is still here. Signed another 3-year contract. T-Mac is now in the last year of his deal, and he's regressing significantly down to 83. Mario Chalmers is on the team now. And they got Carlos Boozer, who's not in his prime anymore either. Gerald Wallace is a solid role player as well. Guy's probably just coming here to ring chase at this point. Yeah, you've seen the screen before. Nikola Jokic, Rookie of the Year. That's surprising because he starts off at a fairly low overall in his rookie season, so that's cool. Gordon Hayward, 6th Man of the Year. Tyson Chandler wins his Defensive Player of the Year award, and Rudy Gobert, Most Improved Player. Yeah. So the Hawks were still the 1 seed. They got a little bit better than they did the season before, but they won the championship last year, so maybe that's going to be enough to win again this year. And they lose in the finals to the Kings. So DeMarcus Cousins on the Sacramento Kings wins a championship. That's wild. That's crazy. Who else is on the Kings? DeMarcus Cousins. You love to see it. You love to see it. They got some random guy here and there. Julian Wright, Chris Bosh, DeMarcus Cousins, big 3. All right, yeah, that's pretty dope. But DeMarcus Cousins wins a championship. That's crazy. Paolo, he's still signed here. Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Stephon Marbury all retire and make the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I mean, T-Mac is definitely on the decline. for sure, and that's probably holding this team back a little bit. So T-Mac is definitely on the decline, but don't worry, because Chris Paul's here now. They must have just signed him. Yeah, he's on Golden State this whole time. He went to the finals against us at one point. But Chris Paul now with Paolo Banchero and old but still effective Tracy Mcgrady. And we all know that Chris Paul has a long tail to his career where he continues to be effective. They got Kyle Korver here shooting threes. Atlanta Hawks legend Kyle Korver, former player of the month. Anyone else remember that when they gave the entire Atlanta Hawks starting lineup player of the month? That was fun. Andrew Bogut is also here. So yeah, they lose a championship. They go out and they get another piece they needed. This Atlanta Hawks organization is the real deal. They really not only do they luck into getting an ageless, always improving superstar, but they continue to make good moves in free agency to bring along and make the squad what it needs to be. So good on them. At the end of the 26th season, Hawks are wearing their more recent jerseys, like the one that everyone is kind of on the fence about. And Paolo averages less than 30 points a game, but he still wins MVP because they can't figure out who to give it to, so they just give it to him. This is starting to look a little bit more realistic, except for Marcus Cousins. But yeah, you got Kyrie and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, who's on the Nets again. So that's the Hawks were the number 1 seed in the East. They went 67-15 this year. Thought they'd be a little bit better now they have Chris Paul, but still, that's really, really good, obviously. And they should be able to win a championship this year. Yeah, no problem there. Paolo is another one. Gets Chris Paul his ring. So that's exciting. Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, and Vince Carter are all in the Hall of Fame this season. And I don't remember any of them, being in those championships that were won when Paolo, wasn't winning them. All right, so this is the last year of Paolo's current contract. He says, "Sorry, but I plan on entering free agency this summer to gauge my market value." He's done this a couple times already, and every time he comes back to the Hawks. So, probably not going to make a difference there either, especially now they have Chris Paul here. This is T-Mac's last year of his contract. He's 37 now. He'll be probably 38 at the end of the season. So, it's probably the end of the road for him. They got Joe Ingles here with the 00. That's that's an interesting look. And Jeff Green, and then Spencer Robin, Dennis's son. So yeah, another year, another championship, and then we'll see if Paolo's going to stick around or if he's going to jump ship at the end of the 2016-17 season. Here we are again. His lowest scoring total for a long time, only 28 points a game. Ben Simmons, Rookie of the Year on the Clippers. Is that a real guy? I don't think that's a real guy. LeBron James, he's on the Magic now. He gets Defensive Player of the Year, the only award that he's won so far in his career, other than the All-NBA teams. Dwayne Wade making All-NBA first team in as a 35-year-old. That's wild. Anyway, Hawks best team in the Eastern Conference again. Another 65-win season for them. And let's just simulate the playoffs again. And they barely make it out. They don't make it out of round 2. They lost in round 2. And DeMarcus Cousins gets another championship. That's crazy. With Chris Paul and Paolo the God, like what is that's wild. That's really, really wild. T-Mac retires. We kind of saw that coming. Dirk also retires, so does Baron Davis and Lamar Odom. I think Baron Davis won a championship on one of this teams that we lost to in the finals. That's crazy. Is that gonna be enough for Paolo to leave? His co-star for the last 8 or so years is gone now. They lost in the second round of the playoffs. Is that gonna be enough for him to go? It was not enough for him to go. So he's sticking around. Again, he probably doesn't care too much about winning because he's already got. How many championships does he have? He's got 17 championships. So he's probably not super worried about winning championships in year 31. But yeah, I mean it's it's still a little surprising that they lost in round 2, especially with Chris Paul on the team. But yeah, that's the thing. Harry Giles III is here. Hello again. Again, I don't know what I'm doing here. Shannon Wood Jr. Rookie of the Year. This is what I'm talking about. Like, why does 2K let like these made up guys win Rookie of the Year when it's like the 2017 draft should be complete? This was 6 years ago. It was 5 years ago. Not even that long ago. Like the 2017 draft should not have guys like this in it. They should have a complete draft class because I think almost everybody from the 2017 draft who got drafted should still be in the NBA or at least like kicking around free agency or whatever. Unbelievable. D'Angelo Russell, 6th man of the year. Paolo Banchero gets another DPOY. And yeah, the Hawks. Let's see, first seed in the East again. They got 71 wins this season. All right. So Chris Paul shows up for them again. Finally. Can they get out of round 2 this year? Yes, they can. Can they win a championships year? Yes, they can. All right. So that's, I'm not worried about it this time. Hall of Fame inductees this season. We got Gilbert Arenas made the Hall of Fame. Probably no controversy in his life this time. And Elton Brand, Hall of Famer. Jason Richardson's a Hall of Famer. That's cool. That dude always had the talent. But and Jay Neely, I don't think this is a real person. But I don't know everyone who's ever played in the NBA, so I could be wrong. 2018 draft. This is another big draft. Who's in the draft this year? Yeah, this is the Luka, Trey, Ayton, Jackson Jr. This is like one of the most underrated drafts somehow. Like this draft is crazy deep. Crazy deep. Look at all these like really good NBA players in this draft. This is gonna go down as like one of the best drafts of all time, in my opinion. Just for how many like really really good players are in it. So I'm gonna see who's gonna get like, is Luka gonna get passed over for the first overall pick again in this one? And Luka does not get passed up. He goes to the Spurs with number 1. Trey Young is on the Suns. Jackson Jr. on the Pacers. Colin Sexton goes 4th overall. All right. Shout out to Young Bull. DeAndre Ayton, Mo Bamba is up here. Wendell Carter Jr. Yeah, this draft is actually insane. Yeah, let's go on to the next season. We're getting close to where we're at in real life. Paolo Banchero. I'm losing my mind at this point. Luka, Rookie of the Year. Tony Parker, 6th man of the year on the Dallas Mavericks. That's wild. Paolo gets Defensive Player of the Year. Markelle Fultz, Most Improved Player. Good on him. Derrick Rose is still a 97 overall at age 30. That you'd love to see it. On the Milwaukee Bucks. Atlanta had another really, really good season. They won 63 games. So actually quite a few games less than they did the year before, but still good enough for the first seed in the East. Still no play-in yet. I think that's next year. And then they go to the NBA Finals and lose to the Clippers, who have... Who's on the Clippers? I guess I'll find out in a second. They have Kristaps Porzingis, but they got somebody else. Oh man, this is a squad. This is a really good team. DeJounte Murray, Buddy Hield, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Brook Lopez. That's a good team. You got DeAndre Ayton off the bench. Kent Bazemore, bench goat right there. This was the last year of Chris Paul's contract. So we'll see if he wants to stick around on this team. Tracy Mcgrady made the Hall of Fame. So Chris Paul resigned. Yeah, but this is Paolo's last year of his contract, and he said he's going to test free agency again. Again, that has turned out not to be anything interesting in the past, but we'll see. Maybe this year's different. All right, so the Hawks brought Chris Paul back, and they had their best season in a while. They had 75 wins this season. Zion Williamson is a Spur. Kemba Walker's on the Suns, probably backing up Trae Young. So he's backing up him. Banchero wins another Defensive Player of the Year award. Again, obviously with 75 wins, they're going to be the #1 seed in the East, and likely a championship favorites. And they are going to go ahead and win that against the Thunder. Banchero, 99 overall, of course. He's just continues to be better and better. No Hall of Fame inductees this season. We're in 2020 now. So we're getting close to, obviously where we're at in real life. When we get to the 2022 draft, I'm gonna have to take Paolo out of it. Let's want to keep him in it to have double Paolo, but I don't know. I feel like we don't need that. But yeah, that's the plan here. Is that once we get closer to that draft, we're gonna take Paolo out of it. All right, at the end of the 2020-2021 season. Wearing my third shirt for the video, for those keeping track. Paolo, another MVP season. The Hawks went like 71-9 or 71-11 or something like that. Whatever the math ends up at. They won 71 games. Obviously really, really good stuff there. I skipped right past all the other stuff, my bad. This is the first year of the play-ins tournament, and the Hawks obviously the #1 seed in the East. We get the simulate playoff button, so that's where we're going to press and see if they can win another championship here. And they get knocked out of the Eastern Conference Finals after winning 71 games. And the Orlando Magic win the NBA Finals behind LeBron James. LeBron James finally doesn't have to deal... Well, he finally moves Paolo Banchero out of the way, actually, because they would have had to face him in the conference finals. And wins his first NBA championship. LeBron has been around here for a while, and this is the first time he's actually won a championship, so good on him. But yeah, Chris Paul was not enough to keep this team afloat. I just need to remind myself real quick of the contract situation. He's got 2 more years left, but Chris Paul also has 2 more years left. They got George Hill on the team as well. So here's the problem. What are you guys doing? You got 3 point guards and your top 4 players on the team. That's the problem. And then you got like 4 centers all in the this organization that used to be really, really, really good at putting teams together have just like completely fumbled on what they're doing here. Even though they got Bol Bol on the team now, who he's Bol Bol. Who's making the Hall of Fame this season? It's Dwayne Wade. He retires now. A little bit later than he did in real life because he didn't have to deal with injuries this time. So good on him. Let's move into, I don't know, let's take a look at player progression, because I want to see what this team does in free agency after losing in the conference finals. Trying to get some more help around an aging Chris Paul and an ageless Paolo Banchero. Oh my god, dude. This is either really good or really bad. I don't know, but the Bol Bol's now the 3rd best player in the team, behind Chris Paul and Paolo Banchero. And then Bradley Moncrief is the 4th best player. This ain't great. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, I can't do anything about this. I'm hands off in this simulation, but I don't know what Atlanta's gonna do about this. But yeah, this is the year of the 20. Oh, okay. What? Auto-generate rookies. So 21. So okay, so this would be the Paolo Banchero draft. I'm gonna load the. All right. I'm gonna load the draft class, the correct draft class, but I'm gonna take Paolo out. So let me do that, and then we'll keep it rolling. All right, Paolo Banchero back here, the most valuable player screen, as he spends most of his time in this video. 24 points. Really low scoring effort out of him. That's wild that he was the most valuable player with 24 points. I don't know who. Okay, so wait, like Thomas Carl. I don't know what's happening. Like, did the draft not work? I don't know. Whatever. Darius Garland, most improved player. That's accurate. He almost won that in real life for that season. Russell Westbrook, All NBA first team. He's still a 97 overall. So the dude, like, he's just built different, I guess. Anyway, the Hawks. I was sort of paying attention to what they were doing. Okay, so they must have traded for Dennis Schroeder at some point, and then Bol Bol's a starting center on this team. That's fun, because they went 68-14. So that's a really good record for a team that's like not really that great, I don't think. But whatever. Can they actually go to the championship this year? They go to the NBA finals, and this is the first time we're seeing this. The conference finals MVP trophies. Luka Doncic on the Los Angeles Clippers wins. Did I just skip the? What? Why did it not show? I'm assuming Paolo won Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and they win the championship. Okay, so the team's not that great, but Paolo is. So that's cool. Hall of Fame inductees this season. Dwight Howard retires, and so is Andrea Bargnani. Is in the Hall of Fame. My dude. That's insane. All right, good on you, man. I mean, his game would translate pretty well to the modern day if he would have kept playing, but he's another guy who injuries didn't really go super well for him. Let's get to the NBA draft. So, like I said, I went to the draft class. I loaded in the correct one, but then I took out Paolo Banchero. So he's not here. So we're not gonna have a double Paolo situation. I considered it for a minute, but I ultimately decided not to. And we got Chet Holmgren here. And how does this happen, dude? Like, this draft just happened. Like, why are there auto-generated guys in the? I don't think Dean Owens is a real person. But how is it possible that we've got auto-generate guys in the draft that just happened? That's insane. Like, I understand, like, way down in like the second round, you can't have everybody in there. But what the hell? Like, all these players should be in the NBA. I don't get it. I don't understand 2K. But anyway, we are here at the start of the 2022 season, just like we are in real life. I don't know when this video is coming out, because I'm assuming it's going to take me a while to get it all together, but it might be coming out around the same time as the start of the regular season. I'm going to auto-generate rookies from here on out, because, whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. But I don't really I don't know, whatever. I'm just rambling at this point. So Chris Paul's still here. Then we got Alex Len, who's an 80 overall somehow. Some guy named Mac Ross is an 80. Coming off the bench. He plays the same position as Paolo. So he's whatever. This is the last year of Paolo's contract, as well as Chris Paul. Chris Paul is turning 37 or 38 this season, so this might be his last year on the team. Yeah, so he's talking about testing his value in free agency, but he's done that every year that his contract has been up and he's stayed on the team. I've also noticed it's said that he is a 31-year pro, and he's been a 31-year pro for a while. That's funny. So he would be a 39-year pro right now. And I just noticed it says he was drafted first overall in this draft, which is true. He was drafted first overall in 2022, but he wasn't this time. So whatever. That's weird. 31-year pro forever and ever. I guess that's where it stops. I guess the game didn't account for me keeping a guy around for nearly 40 years. Hello, Paolo's still here. Another MVP. Just this is first season shooting under 50% from the field for a while. I know 49.5 is nearly 50%, but it's notable. Keegan Murray wins Rookie of the Year. I mean, hey, shout out to you. Think LaMelo Ball's coming off the bench for the Cavaliers. Why? Why is Melo off the LaMelo? I just call him Melo. I'm sorry, Melo. The real Melo, Carmelo Anthony, that is. Paolo Banchero gets another Defensive Player of the Year. The Hawks, I didn't think they were doing that good, but they're still the first seed in the East. Okay, 68-14. It seemed like they weren't. Oh no, they went 16-22. Still, I mean, it's still really, really good. It seems like they were going to lose more games than that because they lost a bunch of the games in the early part of the season. Whatever. Playoff time. Let's go. See if they can get another championship here. They lose in round 2, so that doesn't bode super well for Paolo to stick around because he's in a contract here. He's going to test free agency, and he loses in the NBA playoffs in round 2. LeBron gets another championship, so good on him. So like at least he's been somewhat taking advantage of the times where Paolo isn't there. Hall of Fame inductees Carmelo Anthony and Chris Paul. So Chris Paul leaves the Hawks. He retires. And so then Paolo once again is in that position where his contract is up and his co-star is gone. This is like the third time this has happened too, obviously. So the first time was with when Dominique Wilkins retired for the he made the Hall of Fame twice in his career. And then you had Tracy Mcgrady doing the same thing basically. And then now with Chris Paul. So let's see if Paolo sticks around, if he sticks it out, or if he leaves for the first time. Paolo sticks it out. He's still here. And no, okay. They go out and they get Karl Anthony Towns. All right, so hey, you know what? This organization, I feel like they kind of made up for the last couple seasons. I mean, the rest of the roster isn't great, but when you got two guys in the 90 overall range, things are going to be pretty good, I think. Okay, so for like the first time in I don't know how long, Paolo does not win MVP, but Luka does. That's crazy. I mean, Luka is that guy though. Like in 2K, he's like insane in these simulations. So it's only a matter of time. I mean, put a 27, 9 and 9 on ridiculous, percentages. So that makes sense. We got the randomly generated rookies in the game now. So we got Larry Bryant, Kobe's cousin over here. Dennis Schroeder, 6th man of the year on the Heat. He was on our team last year, but then Giannis gets a defensive player of the year instead of Paolo. So Paolo nowhere to be. Well, obviously, all NBA first team. He's no slouch. The Hawks still the number 1 seed in the East, but they only won 58 games this season. That's the first time they've won less than 60 games in a really long time. Not since 2003 have they won fewer than 60 games in a season. But still good enough to be the first seed in the East. Is it going to be good enough to win the title this year? We will see. They are in the NBA Finals. Paolo Banchero, Conference Finals MVP, facing off against the regular season MVP Luka Doncic. Do I have to hit simulate again? I do. Okay, and the Clippers win the title. Okay, so Luka and DeAndre Ayton, I guess, on the Clippers, they take it to Paolo and they win the championship. So that's wild. Who's going to the Hall of Fame this year? It's Kyle Lowry and Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh sticking it out to the age 40, which is great. No blood clots in this simulation. That's cool. Kyle Lowry will probably retire at the end of the season in real life. If I had to take a guess. We're in 2024 now. So let's all right, Paolo was not okay with losing MVP last season, so he goes out and he gets his James Harden 6th man of the year on the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, that's cool. Paolo Banchero gets his defensive player of the year as well. So he must have got kind of upset after losing in the finals last season. I forgot to look at their record. They won like 60 games or whatever. It's fine, whatever. Kobe White, Western Conference Finals MVPs on the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, our dude Paolo's there. So we're making it to the NBA Finals here against the Dallas Mavericks. Let's simulate this. They get a championship. You know, Kobe White's not going to stop Paolo Banchero. All right, we're back on a championship winning pace again. Who is going to Hall of Fame this year? It's going to be LeBron James and Mike Conley. That's cool. You know, LeBron, he got his couple championships at the end of his career there. Yeah, he got 2 championships there. No MVPs, but he was what is that? 5-time Defensive Player of the Year award winner. So that's pretty good. He did what Jordan couldn't do and actually won a couple championships against Paolo in this. He actually knocked him out of the Eastern Conference Finals that one year. So you know he was you know I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I think LeBron's the actual GOAT in real life, but in 2K they make LeBron pretty much the GOAT too. All right, Paolo back again, MVP, the same thing there. Michael Porter Jr., 6th Man of the Year. Bamba, Defensive Player of the Year. You know, things are happening. Some of these names are not going to look familiar in a couple of years. As we start moving into the far future. Atlanta Hawks, #1 seed in the East. You can see they're, you know, won 67 games. Much better season this year than they had the year before. But is that, you know, can they win a championship this year? We'll see what happens. They make the NBA Finals. Paolo and Kyrie Irving are the conference finals MVPs, and then they're facing off against the Spurs. Once again, you know, what's with the Spurs getting very unspurs-like players in the simulation? They got Allen Iverson, now they got Kyrie. Can you imagine like Kyrie pulling the stuff that he pulled last year with like Greg Popovich as the coach? Like, can you even imagine that? Anyway, we won another championship. I'm rambling again. Oh, what's happening here? It's weird stuff. This glitch is happening again. Okay, so did that weird glitch again where it simulates the first month of the season before you can even get into the game because 2K's been broken for so long they don't know what they're doing. Kevin Knox II is an 86 overall. All right, I mean that's what they thought this dude was going to be like when he came into the NBA. So good on him. Shout out to you. Paolo re-signed for 5 more seasons. Karl-Anthony Towns is here for another 3 seasons. We got a pretty decent squad now. Look at them again. The Hawks, they've been doing really good as an organization. They get the best player of all time, and then they did a pretty decent job of building around him. So good on them. All right, 2027 has come, or I guess it's still in 2027, but the season is over. Whatever. 36 points for Paolo Banchero. Wins another MVP. Dennis Schroeder is a 6th Man of the Year award again. Paolo Defensive Player of the Year again. We were the #1 seed in the East again. Had a really good season once again with 64 wins. You know, getting back to that 60+ win rate there. And let's see, they're in the NBA Finals again. Mark Hill, was he on our team? No, I don't know. No, he wasn't. But Mark Hill is Western Conference Finals MVP. Obviously, Paolo Banchero in the East. We're facing the Trailblazers. Let's see if they're going to be enough to beat us. Oh, they go to Game 7. Okay, but it's still, you know, Paolo Banchero is still, you know, doing Paolo Banchero things. Let's see. Are we going to get another, like, weird glitched offseason this year? No. And we got a bunch of Hall of Fame inductees this season. You know, Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose, Kevin Love, John Wall, Paul George. Good stuff for all those guys who, you know, like Derrick Rose and Paul George. If they never got injured, they'd definitely be in the Hall of Fame. And Paul George might still go to the Hall of Fame. I don't know. He's got some good stats and stuff like that. But you know, we'll see. Anyway, let's keep it going. 2027 is here, and we still got, you know, probably a long time to go. I don't know how this is gonna work. All right. Yeah, Paolo Banchero MVP. This is Guy Mayer. That's a funny name. He's the Rookie of the Year. Good, shout out to you. Paolo Banchero, Defensive Player of the Year again. We're in the year 2028, I think. We won 65 games this season. So yeah, that's cool. And we scraped by, went to Game 7 in the second round, but we make it to the NBA Finals here to face against the Clippers and Luka again. So yeah, is Luka going to beat us this time? Nope, we take him down. All right, cool. So see you, Luka. It's our championship now. Who's going to be in the Hall of Fame this year? Stephen Curry was in the Hall of Fame. What team did he play for? Let's see. So he spent most of his career with Bot. Well, he kind of jumps around a little bit. So he started off in Miami. They said, see you later. He went to Portland for a little bit, and went to Boston for a little bit, and then he finishes his career in Golden State. So that's cool. Russell Westbrook retires. He was on. He finishes in Oklahoma City. That's wild. That's crazy. He was on Brooklyn for a little bit, and then Phoenix, and then okay, so whatever. Kawhi Leonard retires, so did Blake Griffin. So that's cool. Those guys are all cool in my book, I guess. Do I have a book? What I don't even know what I'm saying. All right, yeah, we're still winning MVPs in 2029. And Miles Turner, Defensive Player of the Year. He thinks he should win Defensive Player of the Year every year if you ask him. First seed in the East. Yep, we won 67 games again. This Paolo Cat combination has been pretty successful so far. Maybe not the best team we've had so far. I think that's still got to go to the Tracy Mcgrady squad. But facing the Trailblazers in the NBA Finals, they got Mark Hill, and that's kind of it. All right, whatever. I think we got the better team. But yeah, let's simulate through the round, and yeah, 4-0 sweep, no problem there. Paolo Banchero, another Finals MVP. Just a beast and a monster and a monster and a Banchero and a Banchero. We're in 2030 now, and Paolo's still winning MVPs. Max Christie, that's a real dude, isn't he? How did he win Rookie of the Year? Okay, whatever. That's fine. Whatever. I'm gonna go with. And then there's Max Paul, who looks like a really big Chris Paul. He's Maximum Paul, maximizing the amount of Paul that he's got. The long lost Paul brother. What am I doing at this point? 68 wins. That was almost nice. And we number 1 seed in the East again, as we do. We're about to. Okay, we almost got knocked out in round 2. Make it to the NBA Finals against Luka and the Clippers again. I'm assuming they still have Luka on the team, but I'm not gonna check right now. So, well, I guess I could check right here. That's totally fine. I can make this a little bit longer. No, they don't have Luka anymore, but they do have Jason Tatum, and they do have DeAndre Ayton and Dario Saric and Lexi Ingram. All right, that's a weird combination of right there, but whatever. Anyway, simulate the round, and we lose the Clippers again. So the Clippers, they're the new Spurs of this era at this point. Who's going to the Hall of Fame this year? It's Anthony Davis and the DeMarcus Cousins. Dude won 2 championships, right? Yeah, 2-time NBA champion. Was it? Yeah, so like not back to back, but there's a year in between. Anyway, so yeah, good DeMarcus Cousins. He was, and these two guys played together in real life for a little bit. Remember Fire and Ice? That was a real thing. Anyway, let's keep going. I don't know what about yeah, Paolo MVP again. Jake LaRavia, Darren Williams Jr. wins 6th Man of the Year. That's fun. Paolo Banchero wins another Defensive Player of the Year award. Here we are. We won 66 games this season. Let's simulate the playoffs. Man, we've only lost 1 game so far. And we're going against the Trailblazers in the NBA Finals. They got SGA, and that's it. Devin Vassell. We should be able to handle this team, I think. So let's simulate it. And yeah, 4-1. So we lost 2 games all playoffs long. Once again, Paolo was in a contract year. We gotta see who was in the Hall of Fame this year. Kyrie Irving, Hall of Famer. He might get there in real life. I don't know if the controversy might be too much, but we'll see. He's got that championship under his belt. He might get another one at some point. Who knows? But yeah, this is a contract year for Paolo. Always and forever, he will say he's gonna test free agency, and then he will return to the Hawks, I'm sure. But we got to take a look just to be 100% sure. Yeah, Paolo's back for another 4 years. So that's that's cool. they just won a championship, so he's probably gonna stick around a little bit longer. And yeah, so we're going into 2031 now. So yeah, all right. All right, after I think we're up to 49 years of this now. Paolo Banchero was another MVP. Shaden Sharp, Sixth Man of the Year. Paolo Banchero, Defensive Player of the Year. What did we finish with? We had a really good season. 73-9. Okay, yeah. So we haven't won 70 games in a while. Not that that's like an easy thing to do, but it's been since 2020 since they won 71 games. So yeah, that's cool. In the NBA Finals again, up against Devin Vassell in the Portland Trailblazers again. That shouldn't be hard for us to win. Oh, we go to 7 games. Okay, but that's cool. We still win it. We still win it. It's not a big deal. I've also noticed if I go over to Paolo's accolades page, it's not accurate anymore. Giannis retires and he's in the Hall of Fame. Retires at age 38, which okay, that's fair. You don't most guys don't play up to 40 in the NBA, but I feel like Giannis might be one of those guys. Oh, I forgot what I was trying to say, but yeah, Paolo's accolades are broken. They have not been keeping track of his championships and MVPs and stuff accurately for a little while. So I mean, we're going into year 50. So I think at the end of year 50, I'll just do like a quick recap of where we're at so far, and then we'll keep it going because I don't know how long it's gonna let me keep simulating. But yeah, this is what we're doing, and this is what I'm talking about. So if I go over to, he has no contract thoughts now at this point. He's no thoughts, just game. Yeah, if you go over to his accolades page, it says he only has 17 championships and 23 MVPs. Which I don't know. That actually might be. I don't know, but it's again. He's it's been saying he's 31 years pro for like the last like 20 years. So that's not right. So again, the game does not understand what to do when you get to this point, and I understand that. But it's still. What do we expect to happen here? We got a guy who's negative 2,000 years old still. All right, at the end of his 50th NBA season, he wins another MVP. Only 26.5 points a game. This is really slacking off right there. Marvin Bagley, the third defensive or sixth man of the year. Herbert Wallace, most improved. We're gonna start to see a lot of names that are not real players. Only won 59 games this season, so again, it's been a while since we've been under 60 wins. But Karl-Anthony Towns is getting a little bit older, but it doesn't matter because 58 is still really really good, obviously. But is it going to be good enough to win another NBA championship? Let's see here. We go to the NBA Finals. Yeah, so DeAndre Ayton and the Clippers are back in the finals. Do they still have Jason Tatum? They do. Yeah, he's still 90 overall. And they got Jeremy Sohan, who's really, really good in real. Well, he could be really good in real life. He's got pretty decent potential, I think. But he's got to try to lock down the greatest player ever to do it in Paolo Banchero. But yeah, let's simulate through. Okay, so game 7, but we get another title here. So yeah, after 50 seasons, I'm just gonna take a little, not like a real break. Like I'm gonna keep, this video is not gonna end or anything like that. But I will just see here where we're at, because we've got, again, a lot of accolades that are not showing up on the accolades page. So we're gonna go to league history and then take a look at how many championships and MVPs Paolo actually has. All right, so I went through and I counted every championship and every MVP that Paolo has won so far. He has 46 MVPs so far and 35 NBA championships. So after 50 seasons, that's where he's at right now. So that will make it, I think, a little bit easier to keep track of moving forward. But yeah, I just wanted to take a quick break and see what his real accolades are like, because again, if it says he's only played for 31 seasons and he only has 20 something MVPs and 17 championships. So for whatever reason, those are not correct, and I don't know why. But that's what it looks like at the end of year 50, 2033 season. Yeah, a huge milestone so far. Again, I was making fun of how the game was broken about getting him his correct accolades and stuff. Cat retires. Okay. Okay. So another time where his co-star leaves. I was making fun of how the game can't keep track of his accolades, but I'm honestly impressed that the game hasn't completely broken so far by having a guy in his negative 2,000-year-old self running rampant on the league. So a little good, little bad here with 2K. All right, so I guess Cat didn't retire. He's still here. He's pulling a Dominique Wilkins and entering the Hall of Fame before he actually retires. So good on him, I guess. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at so far. Still after 50 seasons, still finding co-stars to keep working with him. Again, the guys are probably just out there ring chasing, but it makes sense. You got a guy who's been the best player of all time for the last 50 years, and he continues to be one of the best players ever. So he's gonna keep it going, I guess. All right, at the end of Paolo Banchero's 50th season, he scores 27.5 points per game. It's good enough for MVP. Again, the Hawks won 72 games, I think. So really good stuff there. Gets another Defensive Player of the Year award as well. Obviously, the number 1 seed in the East. Are they going to be winning another championship here? They get eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's crazy. And the Rockets win a championship behind Jabari Smith Jr., who in real life is Paolo's draft class mate. But in this version, Paolo's been around for a really long time. Ben Simmons makes the Hall of Fame. And they got one more year of Paolo's current contract, and also Karl-Anthony Towns has the same contract date as well. So we'll simulate through this season, and then we'll see what happens after that. Here we are again at the screen. You've seen it before. 31 points a game for Paolo Banchero. They went 72-10 this year. So it's still happening. Even though they lost in the playoffs last year, they're still, the best regular season team ever. And let's see what they can do in the playoffs this year. They make it to the NBA Finals this time, so they don't lose in the conference finals again. They're facing the defending champs, Houston Rockets, and they lose to the Houston Rockets. So Glenn Young and Jabari Smith Jr. Are now seem to be owning the Hawks. So like I said, that was the last year of Paolo and Karl-Anthony Towns' existing contracts. I forgot to check what they were thinking, like their mindset going into that season, so I don't know exactly what they're going to do here. So we're just going to skip to, we're getting this glitch is happening again, where it's going to simulate through the beginning of the season. All right, so I'd love to know what happened to the Atlanta Hawks roster last season, or what record they finished up with, but it simulated the entire 2036 season from the off-season menu screen. So I have no idea what happened, except it looks like Paolo is still on the Hawks and still winning MVPs. So we're not really sure what kind of record they ended up with, or who else is on the team. They were the number 1 seed though. They went 66-16 this season. Who's on the roster this year? So no more Karl-Anthony Towns, but they got some guy named Lonnie Bowen, who is a 91 overall point guard for the team. And then they got Theo Farmer, who probably better than Karl-Anthony Towns at this point in his career as well. They got Devin Vassell. So they got another really good team, obviously, outside of the basketball god, Paolo Banchero. And I just noticed he had he had another 3-year contract. So staying put in Atlanta, they keep winning a lot of games and making it to a lot of NBA Finals, so no surprise there. For the 3rd year in a row, the Rockets are in the NBA Finals, and they're facing the Hawks again, and they win again. So, wow, the Rockets repeat now, and they beat Paolo Banchero twice now, so we might be seeing the end of a 50 plus year era. Um, I'm guessing Karl Anthony Towns retired. I don't see him here, or couldn't tell last year because the offseason glitch again happened. But these guys are retired now. They all make the Hall of Fame. Shout out to Markel Fultz for making the Hall of Fame. Good on ya. But yeah, I mean, I'm honestly surprised that there haven't been more problems like that, given what we are forcing this game to deal with so far. All right, 2037, Paolo MVP, of course. Another Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think there's another player that's gonna up end him from that anytime soon. The Hawks still the first seed in the East. Okay, they won 63 games. It seems like they were slowing down a little bit there, but and yeah, like that. 63 is not 73 or anything like that, but still, a really good season overall. Let's simulate through the playoffs, of course, again, as we always do here in this video, and they get eliminated in the second round by Detroit. So yeah, I mean, like they're just not, able to win. They haven't won a championship. This is like the fourth year in a row, I think. Maybe more than that. I can't really remember right now because I've been doing this for a very long time. But yeah, Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton, and De'Aaron Fox all make the Hall of Fame. Luka, I think he got a championship on us at one point, as he usually does. But the Houston Rockets are the current dynasty, although I guess they just did lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But 4 straight finals appearances, 3 championships. That's a lot to deal with. Hey Paolo, how you doing? You want to win another MVP? Sure you do. Of course you are. That's your favorite thing in the world. You love him. I wonder, like, what kind of trophy case does this guy have to like keep all of these awards? Because it's got to be like a whole room in his mansion's got to be a trophy case. These are a little bit better this season, 68 and 14. But we've learned, that hasn't been enough lately. Regular season success hasn't really translated to the postseason a little bit. They're going to face the Rockets again. That's their fifth time in the NBA Finals. And the Hawks get one. Okay, so after a 4-year hiatus, they win a championship for the first time in a while. Who's going to the Hall of Fame this year? It's going to be Trae Young, Colin Sexton, and Marvin Bagley III. One of those players will probably make the Hall of Fame. I'll let you decide who it's going to be. If you want to play prognosticator. This was the last season of Paolo's contract again. So once again, we'll just take a look to see if he went anywhere. It'd be wild if he played 55 seasons on a team and then decided to leave. But it's 2K. Stuff happens, so we're gonna take a look at it. And yeah, Paolo re-signed for another 4 years. Again, I would have been shocked if he decided to leave at this point. But yeah, we're going into year 55 of this guy's insane career. I honestly thought that the game would either completely break by this point, or like he would just randomly retire. So yeah, I think they let you go 75 years in a My NBA mode. But I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna learn how far you can go into a My NBA mode before they tell you to go outside and do something else. Oh, that's weird. Paolo Banchero won MVP. Who would have thought? Yeah, let's see. Defensive Player of the Year, of course. All that fun stuff. They won 73 games this season. And they, let's see if they can win a championship this year again. How many years is this gonna happen? Kobe White on the Clippers is the Western Conference Finals MVP, and they're in the finals, not the Houston Rockets. And the Hawks get a win. Another win. Hall of Fame inductees this season. Kobe White in his final season goes to the NBA Finals and wins Conference Finals MVP, and then retires, makes the Hall of Fame. That's crazy. I mean, no offense to Kobe White. I don't know if he's got a Hall of Fame trajectory on him, but he's still pretty young in real life. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, all these guys are going to the Hall of Fame too. You can see all those names there. You can read it. I think you can read. Maybe if you can't read this, leave a comment below if you're capable of doing that. Hey, look, it's Paolo Banchero. He's winning his MVP again. Defensive Player of the Year, good going. The Hawks still the #1 seed in the East, but they only won 58 games this year. That's quite a big drop off from 73 down to 58. I wonder what happened there. But it's all about how many games how many championships they can win, how many championship games. I don't know what I'm saying. LaMelo Ball and Paolo Banchero are your respective conference finals MVPs. And the Hawks make another finals and they sweep the Jazz to win another championship. We are in the year 2040 now. So yeah, let's see. We got quite a ways left to go, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Let's another season in the books. Paolo Banchero, another MVP. Defensive Player of the Year award again as well. The Hawks were the 4th seed this year. So they've slipped quite a bit, down to 47 wins on the season. I mean, the team is not what it used to be. I mean, if I go over to the roster here, you can see it drops off pretty quickly. Paolo hasn't had that really good second star on the team. Pat retired. But they can still win the title out of the 4th seed, and they're going to go to the NBA Finals still. So and the Trailblazers are here now. They have home court advantage. But they win the championship. Okay, so they lose in the NBA Finals to the Trailblazers. So yeah, I mean the team is definitely starting to come apart a little bit here. Anthony Edwards, Jabari Smith Jr., and Patrick Williams all make the Hall of Fame. And so we'll see what happens at the end of this next season here. Yeah, Paolo Banchero, another MVP. It's just it's always gonna happen. I mean, it makes sense. Like the dude's got a 99 on probably every rating now. So I would be shocked if he didn't win MVP again. This team got a lot better this season, or at least played a lot better. They won 62 games this time. Even though I don't think the roster changed. No, everything's still the same here. So they just must have figured something out differently this year. I hit the wrong button. I didn't mean to just simulate the round. Let's simulate the playoffs. That's the button I wanted to press. Right, and let's go. It looks like they're going to be in the NBA Finals again, facing off against the Timberwolves this year. Can they get another championship? And they can. So, this was the last year of Paolo's current contract once again. I checked his contract thoughts. He didn't have any thoughts. Lonnie Bowen, who was on the Hawks for a long time, won a couple championships with us. He's in the Hall of Fame now. It makes sense. And let's again go to the player progression and see if Paolo is still here. He probably is. We are going into the 2042-2043 season, so the year 59 of his career. So we're getting there, guys. We're almost to the end of this very, 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 very long career simulation. Yep, that makes sense. He's still here for another 3 years at least. And the team is still the same, except we don't have our Hall of Fame point guard anymore. So they'll probably be a little bit worse this season, but Paolo is still the best player in the universe. So I don't know how much is actually going to change. Hey, what's up, Paolo Banchero? I haven't seen you for a little bit. Yep, he does all the things he's been doing. The Hawks had a really good season this year, 67-15. I almost feel like they are better when they are worse as a team. If Paolo can just carry the whole team through the regular season, they almost win more games that way somehow. They do make it to the NBA Finals, although they had a fairly tough road there. I mean, they went to Game 7 there and Game 6 there. Whatever. Timberwolves are in the finals again. Hawks beat them last year, but they don't beat them this year. And Delano Goodrich Finals MVP, only an 86 overall. So I mean, hey, like I said, better for the regular season, maybe, but not for the playoffs at least. This is the first year we haven't had any Hall of Fame inductees for a while, so we're probably getting to the point where there's not as many real NBA players left. I mean, this is what 20 years past, well, 21 years past the current day. So we're I guess we're at the point where there's not very many real NBA players left because most players don't play 20 seasons. So yeah, we're kind of just getting into the territory of everyone is made up except for Paolo Banchero, who technically is made up because it's not the real Paolo Banchero. Whatever, you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, heading into year 60 of this simulation. Hey Paolo, how you doing, buddy? You still doing okay? You're still putting up 38 points a game? Yeah, I knew you could do it. Still playing good defense? Yeah, I knew you could do that too. Atlanta first seed in the East again this season, 66-16. There's a lot of sixes in that number. I forgot to mention, it looks like they, I haven't been paying attention to the league meetings in the offseason. It looks like they got rid of the play-in tournament, which is, whatever, it's fine. Paolo Banchero is still the Eastern Conference Finals MVPs. They're facing off against the Warriors in the finals this year, and they sweep them. No big deal. Once again, the team is not as good. But that's the thing. It's like, okay, so in 2K22, I did a whole series where I was only using randomly generated players the entire time, and like the quality of the NBA was not nearly as good. So I feel like this is where Paolo's really gonna dominate. Not that he hasn't been dominating for the first 60 seasons, but this is where he's really gonna dominate because there's not gonna be anyone near his level, I think, ever again. So those last couple of years where like the Rockets were winning a couple championships and stuff like that, that might be the last time you see. Although I mean, I say all that, and they just lost the Timberwolves recently, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about or what I'm doing. But that's why you watch these videos, right? You watch it because I have no idea what I'm doing. Hey, look, it's this guy again, and he's here again too. Look at that, he's everywhere. He's all the things. They had a really good season this year. They went 75-7. So maybe what I was talking about earlier when I said I didn't know what I was talking about, maybe I did know what I was talking about, and then it's come back around, and I now know what I'm just gonna play it off like I knew what I was talking about the entire time, and then I pressed the wrong button. So I immediately refute the statement I just made. Russ James, LeBron's long-lost son, is in the Western Conference Finals MVP, and he's on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Hawks beat him, and they win another championship. On to 2045. Paolo Banchero scores 40 points per game. I think this is the first time he's scored over 40 in a season. That's crazy. Getting it done this late in his career. They only won 60 games this season. Only 60 games. I mean, like, didn't the Phoenix Suns win 61 and they were the best record in the league last year? The 60 is still a lot of games, but they don't make it out of the first round. That's like the first time that's happened since like his rookie season, I think. That's actually crazy. Trailblazers win the NBA title. That's interesting. We got our first Hall of Fame inductee for a while, and it's Drew Holiday Jr. and Justin McLeod. That's interesting. All right, so let's see, 2046. That's what year it is right now. All right, it's this guy, Paolo Banchero. Have you ever heard of him? He's pretty good at the whole basketball thing. The Hawks were the second seed in the East this year, so dropped off a little bit from last year, and they only lost one more game than they did the year before, though, so not a huge drop off. Still 59 wins in a season's pretty good. That's good enough to get you number one seed in most years. The Hawks. Okay, so the Hawks losing round one last year, make it to the finals this year against the Spurs. So can they win a championship? And they do. They sweep the Spurs. No problem there. Did I see Paolo has another badge? Yeah, he's been at 55 badges this entire time, and now he just decides to pick up another one. That's funny. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep going here. It's 2047. I did the math. 75 years after 1983 is 2058. So that's allegedly where this is gonna stop, but I don't actually know. I like tried to look it up and I couldn't find a real answer. So this video either may never end or it's gonna end in 2058. So we'll see. Oh look, yeah, we're yeah, okay. This is the part where I don't even say words. They 63 wins this season. First seed in the East again. Can they get another championship here? Maybe not. No, they get eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals by Frank Blount. And Irvin Baylor is on the Trailblazers. Again, none of these guys are going to be real. They haven't been for a while. And the Pistons, who beats Paolo and the Hawks, win the NBA championship. Hall of Fame inductees, we got a bunch of guys who are not real. So, that's all it's going to be from here on out. 2048. So, yeah, just probably 10 more years of this. If what I think is correct, but I don't actually know. Yeah, it's 2049. Paolo Banchero, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. That's gonna be forever now on. Atlanta Hawks were only the second seed in the East this season, but they still won 60 games. So that's the Detroit Pistons who won the championship last season were the first seed in the East. Can they get to the finals this year? And they get eliminated by Detroit again. So this might be another situation where we have, one team, not able to be overcome by this Hawks team. This was the last year of Paolo's contract, so we'll see if he switched teams again. But it's been over 60 years and he's stayed on the same team. So I would be surprised if this was any different. So Paolo did stay on the team, but this is the team he's working with now. Like, there's nobody else on his team above an 80 overall. So whatever success they have, it's gonna be just because he pulled it off. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why he's obviously sticking around because they're paying him $217 million to stay here. But yeah, it's not like this is a great team anymore. It's really just one unbelievable player just collecting checks, and you can see they lost the first 2 games of the season. But that's what he wants to do, I guess. That like garbage team won 67 games because of this guy is insane. We know this by now. It's not like I'm breaking any news to anybody. Good enough to be the first seed in the East, of course. This guy, like, it's actually insane what happens when you have a guy who's this much better than everyone else. They're in the NBA Finals once again against the Timberwolves once again, and they lose to the Timberwolves. So even though, again, NBA, like, regular season success has not really meant playoff success, not for a while for this team. This organization that was so good at pairing Paolo with other really good players, first when they went out and got T-Mac, and then when they had Chris Paul, and then Karl Anthony Towns. He hasn't had a guy like that on his team since Towns retired, and it's really held the team back. It's a little disappointing to see that he's A, stuck around this long with this team, and B, that they haven't been able to put together another roster like they had before. So it's maybe a sad ending to this. Wait, what just happened? Okay, the game crashed. All right, so maybe is that how this ends, with the game crashing? That would really suck. If this ends with a game crash, I'll be really, really sad. Hopefully I can still get in there and like look at his stats and stuff like that, so it's not like a complete loss. I'm gonna try to advance to the next season again and see what happens. Yeah, okay. So that's probably it then. Uh, that sucks. That's ending on the game crashing. Um, all right. Well, they didn't win a championship in the last year. Uh, but let me go in there and we'll see what stats he accumulated. I mean, I hope that the stats at least were tracked somewhat accurately, because his years played and the championships and stuff were not tracked accurately. All right, so he single game points, field goals made, not on the list there, but he did make 17 3-pointers in a game. 16. He's on this list at least of the most 3-pointers made, and these were all recently. So Dwayne Wade hit 15 3-pointers in 2017. That record stood for 38 years. No, 28 years. Right? I don't know. Numbers are hard. Yeah, 28 years. And then, or yeah, not even that long. 27 years. No, 28 years. I don't know. And then, whatever. I've been doing this for too long. And then Paolo just shows up and starts knocking down 16 threes in a game and then 17 threes in a game, as recently as 4 seasons ago. He made 26 free throws in a game at one point. Nowhere near the rebound total, but I mean, these are like, no one's going to get 55 rebounds in a game. Are you kidding me? Kevin Porter. Is that Kevin? That must be Kevin Porter Sr. Had 29 assists in a game. That's interesting. He's not on that list though. Not on the blocks list either, or the steals list. Didn't play the most minutes in a game. Yeah, 12 turnovers, but that's whatever. So those are all the single game numbers. So he's only on the 3-point made list for like single game performance. In the playoffs, though, let's see, he did score 66 points, 65 points, 65 points in playoff games. It's really funny to see he's on the list in 1998 and 2048. Derrick Rose had 73 points in a playoff game in 2013, though. That's actually insane. Not on the most field goal made list either. He did hit 14 threes in a playoff game once. 26 free throws made in a playoff game. Once again, the rebound numbers are not going to be able to be touched. Not the most, not a guy who got a ton of assists either in his career. Kyle Lowry, though, got 23 assists in the 2023 season. So that's, something we have to look forward to this year, I guess. Not on the blocks list. Not on the steals list either. All right, now on to the season totals here. And so Wilt Chamberlain was never surpassed for his points in a season in 1962 or 63. But Paolo's got the next 3 on the list from 1998, 2046, and 2044. And then he's also here from the year 2000 and 2006. So that's something there. Field goals made, he's only on here from his 1998 season. And then did not score the most 3-pointers in his season. That belongs to Delano Goodrich, who's a made up player. But he is here a couple times here on the 7, 9, and 8 spots there, scoring over 558 threes in a season, 651 threes in a season. That's ridiculous. Third all time in free throws made in a season. That's his 1998 season again. Not on the rebounds list. Again, that's going to be hard to get to. Not on the assist list either, or the blocks list, or the steals list. All right, so on to the totals of his career. So I know this isn't accurate. Although this is weird. So he's on here twice. So I don't know how. I don't know what this means. Does that mean he's played like almost 4,000 games in his career? Or that just stops counting at 1968 and then it starts counting again, and then he got to 1968 again. Is he on this list a third time? Yeah, I'm not sure because it says he played 1,968 games twice. So it's got to be more than that. Obviously, the all-time leader in fouls at over 6,000. He had so like there is an upper limit to these values, and then once it hits that, it must go back over again. That has to be what's happening here. And so he had 582 and 442 40-point games. He had 104 and 87 50-point games. So is 104 the reset mark? Because that's not even at Wilt Chamberlain's 118. This is weird. Obviously, weird things are happening. 332 triple doubles. That seems low as well for how many seasons he's played, but I don't know. And then total points. He's on here twice as well. So that's over 130,000 points in his career, if that's how I'm supposed to be reading it. That's actually insane. Field goals made, over 40,000 field goals made in his career. Over 10,000 3-pointers made in his career. Over let's say 18,000 free throws made. So like, despite all that, he only just eclipsed Wilt Chamberlain for the most rebounds of all time. Which again, I wonder if that was the reset number or what's happening there. Yeah, that could just be the reset number. I don't see his name on the list again, but I feel like he would have to be much further along than 26,000. He is only third all time in assists. He averaged like 7 assists a game for his career. So that makes, I guess that sort of makes sense. But when you play 65 seasons or whatever, you would think that would be, achievable. Same thing with blocks. Only 3,000 blocks in his career. And second all time in steals at over 3,000 steals. There's the minutes there's the overall minutes, so he's a lot of minutes. Only second all time in turnovers. So at least he didn't turn over the ball more than LeBron James did. So yeah, I don't know how accurate those numbers are. But yeah, those were his career totals. Let's take another look at just his, his overall career stats. So this only goes back to the year 2026, 2027, which I think is probably 31 years. So that's where the 31 year thing happens. So maybe that's why I wasn't logging the stats correctly either, which is interesting. I mean, it's still only negative 2,046 years old. But at least for the data we have here, he averaged 32 points a game, 12.8 rebounds per game, 7.1 assists, 1.6 steals, 1.5 blocks per game, 2.4 turnovers. Shot 53% from the field, 44% from three, 98% from the free throw line. So that's the stats we have here. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we already know these stats are not complete. That's just, I don't know. I don't know how to take this information, because obviously it's not logging all the information it has. These are his game highs according to this list. Again, I don't know how accurate this is either. I'd assume this would be somewhat accurate, but I honestly don't know. He scored 69 points in the game. Nice. Made 7. Okay, so that's the 17 3-pointers made, so that's accurate. Although that happened in 2046, so maybe that's within the 31 year range there. 19 assists in a game. He had 7 steals in a game, 8 blocks. He once played 50 minutes in a game. So yeah, I think that's gonna have to be it. The game won't let me continue any further because it's the year 2050 and we've been simulating since 1983. So yeah, not the ending I thought was gonna happen, but that kind of tracks for 2K. So yeah, I made Paolo Banchero into a ageless demigod. He played with the Atlanta Hawks for the entirety of his career, and we ended up breaking the game at the end of it. So that's it. If you've watched this entire video, thank you. There might be something wrong with you. You might have to want to go see a doctor. But I do appreciate it. I had a lot of fun doing this experiment, despite the fact that I may have lost my sanity at one point. I will never do something like this again. But if you want to see more stuff that I do end up doing, go ahead and press that subscribe button. If you did like this video, I mean, if you watched up to this point and you didn't like the video, then there really is something wrong with you. Press the like button. That'd be really cool. If you don't want to do either of those things, go to your favorite fast food restaurant and then, order your favorite thing on the menu and, say something really nice to the people who serve you. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. And you go enjoy the rest of your life. I don't know if I still can.